What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction, with some more duck books. This is the fourth in the Carl Barks series, The Trail of the Unicorn. And I say fourth because it's the fourth out. There are currently, there's a dozen or 15 books out, something like that. And this is actually book 8. They've skipped 1 through 4 so far, as of this video making, because it doesn't start to get good until they introduce the character of Uncle Scrooge, which is in volume 5, and this continues from there. So the last one I read was Lost in the Andes, and this continues at that point from Trail of the Unicorn. And you actually have to go to the back of the book to see where these were originally first appeared, which I appreciate that this is in here, but it comes from 4-Color Comics, number 238, and goes through different things. And this is from August 1949 all the way up until March 1950 for some of these stories. And so we're getting into the 50s now, which is pretty neat. Carl Barks did these books for decades and is just a master of his craft. Now, Trail of the Unicorn is the opening story in here, and so they tend to name them after the longer adventure stories. And for those who don't follow the duck books yet, there's like 3 levels of stories, or 3 tiers. There's the 1-page gag stories, and they're just 1 page with a little gag at the bottom. And there's 10-page or so stories, which are a little longer, but they're usually not as complex. And then there's these longer, about 20 to 30-page stories that the ducks go on adventures. And these are the ones that really captivate people's hearts and are really what Carl Barks is known for, and later what Don Rosa is also known for. So the Trail of the Unicorn has Scrooge McDuck sending the boys on a mission to chase after something, which he does very often. That's a common theme. Chase after a unicorn this time. And Gladstone Gander finds this out and poses as a swami and tells them where to go, just to kind of mess with them and make some money off of them. And then they go up, and it turns out there really is an actual unicorn. And they deal with Gladstone in this and get around his luck somehow. And they bring him back. Even though it looks like Gladstone wins, they're able to feed the unicorn some moss and get a giant limo. This is so ridiculous. I love the unicorn on the top of it. Just the imagery Carl Barks uses just to convey different things like, oh, this is wealthy. You might have thought this was wealthy on the last page, but this is really wealthy. It's cute. He always does things like that in his imagery, which is what makes his comics so great. It just goes over the top. Now, there's no real continuity in any of this stuff, so Donald doesn't have a ton of money and a big chauffeur or anything like that after this. It's kind of an easy go, and you go on to the next one. We get a 1-page gag about Daisy getting all mad when she gets beat in games. I showed this to my wife because it's like, hey, you get really mad when I beat you in games too. I thought it was really cute. We get a cookout gag, about kind of sneaking their way around getting ice cream just based on what Donald said. And then we get back into some stuff. So the kids are reading comic books in this one, and Carl Barks has a little commentary on that, and the adult's like, you shouldn't be reading those fantasy things. And eventually Donald Duck drinks this serum, which gives him superpowers, and he tries to drink it again, but it's really just like his heartburn medication, so it doesn't do anything, and he just splats into the wall this next time. Pretty cute for a 10-pager there. Next we get they go to a diner, and Donald Duck wants them to stop eating hot dogs. So he's like, let's get frog's legs. And he finds out how expensive they are. So he's like, I'm just going to hunt my own frogs for frog's legs then. And hijinks ensue on that. Eventually, the frog makes them a ton of money at the county fair. And so they decide to eat hot dogs again after all. Very cute. Very, very cute one. This was one of my favorites. Next, another one of my favorites, A Letter to Santa. They want to get this steam shovel, which is this giant contraption here. And Donald Duck's like, dang, I guess they really want this. It's so expensive. I don't know how I'm going to get one. And he goes on this wild adventure, and Scrooge then wants to get them because he wants to prove he's the better uncle to the kids. And they have a big fight and just end up destroying it. And they get into where Donald Duck poses as Santa to fake everybody out. Boys figure it out, and it turns out the real Santa brings them a toy steam shovel. So that's like a miniature one. And the boys are very happy with that, so they went to all that trouble for nothing. It was very cute. The Christmas ones do really well, and there's a lot of different duck Christmas stories. I mean, the first Scrooge story is a Christmas story. Barks does so many Christmas stories, and they're all equally cute. I never get bored of them, like you would think one might with that sort of thing. So let's see, what do we get in this next one? These are a couple more one-page gags, and then they get on one where they got this water stick, and they're going to find water. And Donald ends up going out to the desert to mess with them, and ends up they are accurate in their ability to find water with that water stick. Very cute. Again, I keep saying very cute, but that's what it is. Kids go to camp in this one, and there's a Goldilocks and the Three Bears riff off this, and nobody believes there's actual bears in here, and Donald has to deal with actual bears. It's very funny. Cute ones, but again, I don't think that's one of my favorites. New toys. The kids have new toys. Now, this is a nice, wholesome one. This is probably the most wholesome one in the whole book. The kids get their new toys. They want basically the same toys as their old toys, and Donald Duck's like, you've already got them. I'm not buying you new ones. And he ends up buying them new ones anyway, but they destroy their old ones in an effort to make them worn so that he will do so. And then he has to get them new ones anyway, which he does. And then they spot a poor kid down the street who just can't have a Christmas, and they decide to give their toys to him instead, and decide to work to rebuild and fix their old toys. And so very wholesome on every level. Great message for kids. Really love that that's in there. Very nice stuff. More one-page gags. And then I would say this is probably the best story in the book right here. The Luck of the North, where Gladstone Gander is his cousin. He's so lucky he can get anything. So Donald Duck tries to trick him by saying there's a uranium mine in the north. And Gladstone goes off on adventures. The ducks chase after him, find some Eskimos. We've got whaling jokes in here, all the stuff that you're not allowed to talk about today. It would be canceled, which is why I love it. It's so fun. And then they end up stuck on an iceberg, and it turns out that an iceberg has a bunch of old Viking stuff in it, and actual gold material. So Gladstone steals all that, and of course he has the rights to it, because he found this iceberg to begin with because of the map. And the ducks then have to try to figure out their way back home. And it turns out they have an old map that is an old Viking map that is probably worth a lot for historical value. And so Donald Duck wins, even though Gladstone got away with his luck. And I love how Barks always has to find a new way to twist how Donald Duck could possibly get out of this when Gladstone's the luckiest person on the planet and will just automatically win without working and without having his luck. He always finds a way to do a twist that makes it a lot of fun. And this is why I love these types of stories. Good stuff. 2 more one-page gags, and we are back into Daisy leaving Donald Duck. This is probably my second favorite one in it because I like Daisy. Daisy really only acts as a foil for plot. There's not too much to her character, to be honest. But she gets mad at Donald and kicks him out, and then the kids find these old love letters and end up accidentally delivering them to Gladstone. And everybody thinks they're Donald Duck's love letters, and so he's freaked out because Donald thinks that they're embarrassing. And it turns out Gladstone was writing love letters to Daisy, and so Donald kicks the crap out of him. Very funny. We have a wintertime one. This is a great one, too, where Donald Duck is convinced that he's fallen asleep for 40 years so that the kids can get back to winter. And this plays off them being ducks because Donald Duck goes south so that he gets out of the cold, just like ducks do. And then the kids really just want to go back because they want to play in the snow. So, cute stuff, again. We get the Land of the Totem Poles. This is a very nice one, again, where they travel off, and Donald Duck's trying to sell steam calliope, I guess that's what you call it, one of those organ things. And it turns out everybody wants one, even though you wouldn't think it. Very funny stuff that everybody wants that strange device. And it ends up working with totem poles, and the natives there love it. And he comes back, and even though the salesman was kind of trying to yank his chain by sending him out on this route, he succeeds at being the best salesman anyway. So one of the top stories of the book also. Second or third favorite. Cool. We've got some more snow stuff. Oh, this is a really nice one also. Donald Duck claims that he's an expert skier, and he has to deliver a serum to save another town because they're all sick, and he actually doesn't know how to ski. And so he gets caught up in this hijinks. Very nice one also. Everything in this is perfect. I keep saying very nice and very cute and very good and very, you know, I only have so many ways I can describe awesome. But you just plow through these stories, one more one-page gag, and it closes things up. And you just have the best stories out there. Now, I ignore these little notes from other writers because many of them are always like, you know, this is a different time and racism and blah, blah, blah. And I just, like, I have no use for essays like that. Just a big waste of my time. I like the Don Rosa books better because Don Rosa actually writes his own notes about his own stories, so you get a lot of insight into it like that. So there's some unused covers and some of cover comics here that Carl Barks did. Some used covers also. Where's the unused one? Is this the unused one? Nope. These are all used ones. They're showing. Oh, here's the cover that never was, and you see that there was a difference, but they ended up using this one instead of this one. And so they actually remastered it here with the help of Walt Simonson, of all people. So that's pretty neat. And you get a little bio on Carl Barks at the end of it also. So cool stuff. Love it. I mean, these are just the perfect comics. Every volume, I'm just going to have to be like, it's the perfect comic every single time. And I hope that you don't get bored of it because each one of these has its own merits. You know, maybe you see a theme or something like the unicorn or the totems that appeals to you more than the others. Just pick one up. There's no continuity, so it really doesn't matter what order you read these in. I'm a completionist, so I got all of them and I'm reading them in order. But, you know, you don't have to be like me because it's kind of OCD and absurd to do that. But we'll be back with more Duck stuff. This is The Trail of the Unicorn, and it's the 4th book out currently, which is book 8 overall for the Carl Barks series. And there's a lot more to go, including some books that are just dedicated towards Uncle Scrooge. These are pretty easy to find. The Uncle Scrooge ones are a little harder to find. But these ones you can pretty much pick up at cover or less, so not too bad. Totally worth reading. Very wholesome stuff and so refreshing compared to comic books today. Hit the like and subscribe button. I will be back soon with some more reviews. And thank you guys for tuning in.